Hell's Angels, Ghost Rider, Terminator, Pulp Fiction. Every badass in every movie about badasses rides one of these cruisers. And cruisers have their charm.
The good ones sound like the Guns N' Roses are playing the bass drum in the exhaust pipes. Potato, 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 potato. And the Super Meteor is a good one. The potatoes are a bit more potato. But it's definitely on the right track.
Sound is one thing, but even otherwise, the 650cc twin fits so naturally here on the Super Meteor, hand in glove. As refined and laid back as a cruiser should be, but when you want to lose that wanted level, it can get a move on.
Where you won't be getting a move on though is through potholes or bad roads or even bumpy roads. Cruisers like the Super Meteor are long, low motorcycles that are designed to look cool. So these things are a bit of an afterthought. Suspension. Travel is limited, the ride is firm, and because you're naturally putting more of your weight on your bum and your lower back because of the riding position, going through potholes on the Super Meteor is a genuinely uncomfortable experience, and it magnifies even the smallest of imperfections on the highway.
Thankfully though, ground clearance isn't an issue. You won't be scraping its belly unless you meet the Mount Everest of speed breakers, and in that case, just remember to take it slow.
You definitely feel the weight of the motorcycle at those slow speeds. 241 kilos. That's a lot. Thankfully though, it is exceptionally well balanced. There's not too much weight on your legs at standstill. Even traffic jams aren't too bad, but you will have to be careful and do some conscious counterbalancing when you're taking U-turns.
It does take corners well though. That heft, the long wheelbase, the stiff suspension come together to make this a cruiser you can truly enjoy on the right bit of road.
While Varun was cruising in Jaisalmer, I've got it to Maharashtra's racetracks, Lavasa and Tamini. And the Super Meteor is surprisingly fun here. It definitely trades that comfort for sportiness. Turn-in is a little bit lazy, but then it hugs its line well, stays rock solid through the corner, and then boom, you just gas it out and it goes. It is properly fun here. There's a rowdiness, a little bit of brashness to this, which is very uncruiser-like. And I really like it. On a smooth, fast, flowing road, you can have a lot of fun with this motorcycle.
On the twisties, the heel and toe shifter requires continuous back and forth movement, and it's not my cup of tea. For the highway, I would have preferred a slightly taller 6th gear so the engine feels a little more relaxed at cruising speeds of 120 kilometers per hour, but it is a smooth gearbox, one of the better ones from Royal Enfield.
The seat is also really nice. If you're going to be riding, you're going to be comfortable even on long distances. But if you're going to be riding with a pillion very often, go for the touring seat. It adds a little more space and a much needed backrest for that pillion.
But that touring seat comes with a lot of optional extras that takes away from the simple, timeless looks of the Super Meteor. The swept back tail, the low body line. But it retains the machined aluminium inserts, the beautiful switchgear, and the lovely detailing on the paintwork.
After living with it for a week or so, the Super Meteor reminds me of the Interceptor and the Continental GT650, but not for the reason you might think. It's because this, like those two, feels like a factory fresh classic motorcycle. And I like that.
Don't get me wrong, on the right bit of road, this is as stable, as comfortable as a modern motorcycle, and you can fit enough fuel in the tank to let you cover many, many miles while looking like a badass.
The Super Meteor isn't unrideable. Once you get used to the weight, it isn't that cumbersome in the city, honestly. But that's like saying if you get used to having a serial killer in your house, it isn't that scary anymore. The more I ride the Super Meteor in our country, through our roads, through our highways, in our largely congested cities and towns, the more out of place it feels.
I would rather have a lighter, a more comfortable machine when I know most of my riding is on tight roads, roads that are imperfect and filled with traffic. A machine that has a similar charm and the same engine.
The Super Meteor 650 is a bike that's built in India by an Indian company, but on the list of ideal markets for it, I don't see India. There's nothing fundamentally wrong with the Super Meteor, it's just in the wrong environment. International markets, UK, USA, sure, it makes a lot of sense, and I can sense that at the right price, Royal Enfield will sell truckloads of these overseas.
And you know what? They will probably sell many here as well. A lot of people are willing to give up a little comfort, a little ease to chase a dream. And that's pretty badass.